Every one of these starts with me laughing. I've been trying to delete it out. Welcome, welcome everybody. Welcome to Audits. Version number, I don't know, but audits do. Why don't you trust intuition? Trust intuition or trust intuition? The inference and the accent is at your discretion. Please brace yourself for Terry to use bad words and inappropriate humour. Ian and I will be adults for the whole proceeding.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Thank you everyone who's come. Thank you everyone who's going to listen later, listen and watch. We really do appreciate it. We even had the fan, the viewer, come up with a suggestion for next time, something that they thought we might be able to
Postpone it.
Postpone it.
What? That's a suggestion.
Yeah, just quit. No. No, for the next one.
Ooh.
No, now we're pandering to the masses now. God.
The mass.
Okay, the one. Okay, the one.
Oh, yes. But I haven't asked her permission to share, so I'll defer until she says yes or no. But we're going to be it's in response to a Facebook post. So man the maneuver. But this one is, why don't you trust intuition? Ian.
Hello.
Go on and speak.
Me.
Intuition. Have you got a definition? Because you came with definitions in the past.
Ooh, definition of intuition.
Definition of intuition.
Good job I didn't take my wife up on the offer of coming in here with a glass of wine.
It isn't. You've just got those glasses that are a bottle size.
I don't bother with glasses anymore. Paper bag's good enough for me, kiddo. I think it depends what you read online about intuition, because I did, believe it or not, do a little bit of research for this one. Just the tiniest bit. And it came from me being uncertain what it would be. And I found two kind of different approaches. One is that gut feeling. The other one is where you come to a conclusion without any rational methodology.
Did you look up intuition or Trump?
No, it was definitely intuition, because there was more letters than Trump in my search.
Okay.
Because I had to use, I think I used 3 fingers to type it.
And that's how much you were drinking at a time. You get mixed up.
Yeah, because he's even calling it triping it. That's exactly what my brief bit of research came up with. To understand something instinctively without the need for conscious reasoning. So it's the issue. It's not reasoning. It's not thought. It's not based on fact. It's based on the gut feeling. Come on, Terry. I'm not gonna spoil your thunder. What do you want to call it? The hunch, the gut feeling.
It's not my in my research that I didn't do. The best description I've heard of describing intuition is from Guillaume Hooper.
Mr.
And
Hooper.
he called Mr. Hooper. Doesn't it's not Southern. I don't know why I'm doing a Northern accent for. Mr. Graham Hooper, who calls it spidey sense.
Yeah.
And I like that. That's a good one.
It is. Because it's just as real as the sense we're using.
But spidey sense, just being a nerd about
what? Are you sure?
Just a little bit.
There's
the name of Thundercats. We know you're in a
TARDIS. Yeah, come on, Ian.
Spider sense comes from taking in stuff, again, without any consciousness. I think the fact is that intuition is it's something you can't really teach people to do. It's something you've got to take that leap of faith. And the way you get better at it is by getting it wrong.
Yeah. Oh,
like so much in life, you get better at stuff by getting stuff wrong.
So what is it? It's intangible. It's not based on fact. It's based on gut feelings and inner sense. And it could be our intuition, but it also could be the intuition of our drivers. And I think we need to go into that briefly as well, because we're thinking about this totally from our point of view. We're missing a trick, because I think communication of this sort is two-way. And well, I'm just, yeah, well, go on.
Well, the thing is about intuition, you've got to use it, but you can't use it like a big stick. You use it
like a little stick.
Well, you cannot use it as a stick at all. You cannot say, "Oh, well, I think you did it because of this."
Oh, stop being sizist about your stick if you're not using a stick.
Oh,
hang on, Lavelle, before you carry on. Why can't you do that?
Because it's wrong. It's what it's the thing that makes sense to you, but it might not make sense to the person you're working with.
And what's the problem with that, devils?
That's my point. You can't nick my bit of research.
No, it was your bit.
Mum and Dad, stop arguing.
Ignore the last 10 seconds of your life, Ian. I'm going to... You know what?
No. You're spot on. If intuition, I think what you were saying is intuition about something about you. If you intuit something about yourself, you can trust it. If we get some form of intuition about someone else, it does not mean it's right.
No, and the danger is if you've been right about yourself, you assume
exactly. Yep.
You're going to be right about the situation and whoever's involved with the situation.
There are times to trust that, though, in safety critical moments. Would you agree?
Absolutely.
The easiest way, I think, to get somebody to understand what we're probably talking about in terms of our intuition about the driver is you're driving down the road. You look at them and you just know they haven't seen it. They haven't seen it. Would you agree? They haven't seen the thing.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's when your foot starts to move, and not in a river dance kind of movement either.
I start to squeak. And the seat goes that funny shape. It goes like, whoop.
That's because your ass is chewing it.
Gripping on, perhaps.
Graphic. Very graphic.
Well, you know.
Welcome, Samsung, whoever you are. We are very happy you're here. Welcome.
Sam.
Yeah. I don't know who it is. It's a Samsung. I shall call them Samsung. They maybe prefer to be called Samsung than their given name. Terry, you haven't said anything for ages.
I dare not. I'll get shouted at. That's my intuition telling me.
What's good?
That's nothing really to add, because you two are doing such a grand job. So it's like,
Why is it useful then, Terry?
Why is Terry useful, or why is intuition? I misunderstood the question.
There's little point in answering one of those questions. So
that's my feeling also.
Why is intuition useful?
Well, intuition is useful because it disappeared. 1 second. I pressed the screen. Sorry. It all disappeared. There you go. Intuition is useful because even though it may not be right, what it can lead to is a really great question.
Oh.
And so, it's not about like what Ian said about going in with, aha, you did that because. You can go with a great question like, I just noticed something about blah, blah, blah. What do you think about that? Or what were your thoughts at that moment? Because you've noticed your intuition has told you something, spidey sense is kicking in. Something's not right here. Let's delve a bit. Let's challenge.
Oh,
let's explore.
Explore, challenge, Terry, could be misconstrued.
In the right. Well, okay.
Well,
Right.
we need
challenge
to
as in if a belief.
gently,
Huh?
gently.
Yeah. I know. You're right. Challenge if a belief isn't correct or there's no not the knowledge isn't right. Challenge gently. And gently we don't mean challenge gently by that ain't right, or you can't feel like that. Why are you feeling like that? Why do you think that for? That's wrong. You should feel this way. That's challenging. Like that's just not really challenging. That's just like being horrible. So challenging, like, oh, that's a bit interesting. Tell me a bit more about that. And why do you think that? Why do you believe that? I don't know why the sentence got high at the beginning, but anyway. So intuition helps us formulate a question.
Becoming interested, I think, is another way of just looking at just being interested in the person. And you don't have to have a statement like you look really scared or you look confused, because that just puts people on the back foot.
Yeah. So it's an accusation, isn't it?
And it's that gentle questioning, but trust your intuition in the first place to ask a gentle, open, what's going on?
I think Andy wanted to say something.
Andy had a question.
Well, no, just in life in general, how many times have you ever had a conversation with someone and you think, is this person really with me? Are they listening? Are they understanding what's being said here or whatever?
Every
Do you
time
want to
Ian
listen
gets
to
a
it?
bit.
Whatever. And then, just to ask them, because people lie. They don't mean to. I mean, I've done it myself. Someone says to me, do you actually understand that? And I go, yeah, because I don't want to look stupid. Because I've asked you 3 times, how does that work? 3 times you've told me, and 3 times I didn't understand. And now I'm thinking, I'm not going to ask again. So I say, and clearly you look at someone and you think, no, they don't understand what I'm talking about. They're just being polite.
Yeah. I totally agree. I won't bore everybody with my hour-long scenario of me and the quarter light windows again, but it is my favourite one. Exactly what you're saying, Andy. A billion years ago when I learnt to drive, and my instructor taught me reversing around the corner and said, do you understand? And I said, say it, Fiona, say it. Be brave, say no. Say no, I don't understand. Yeah. I heard people say. And it was obvious with my body language, my tone, it was obvious to me with this little I had no idea what he's talking about. I still reversed around the corner fine. And I was listening, but I don't know what a quarter light is. 10 minutes later, I found out there's a little window.
You could have a memory. I haven't heard about quarter light in years.
Exactly. I learnt to drive 100,000 years ago.
Was it a Flintstone car then?
No,
I was going to make
to touch the floor.
I was going to ask if Fred taught her.
Fred. I wonder what his name was.
What car did you learn in, Fiona?
I learnt in a Ford Fiesta.
Oh, not that long ago then.
No.
It was a very, very early
then when
model,
I was learning.
I think it was the first Ford Fiesta off the line. Very, very, very early.
They didn't have opening quarter lights, though, a Fiesta, surely.
I don't think so, but he was even older than me.
Yeah, Used to have a little crow
Oh,
man.
no, so if you were 17, he was teaching you.
Anyway, intuition. So we need to be careful with it. We need to trust it, but we need to be careful how we use our intuition just to get some more out of them. Oh, go on, Terry.
We also need to practice it. Because a lot of the time we have these little feelings and we don't listen to them in lessons and in life. We don't listen to it enough. And I think one of the most useful life skills is to listen to your intuition and trust it. Because I mean, we can go in quite deep into this, but your body knows. Your body knows stuff that you don't even know. And if you trust that, then I get used to trusting that, and I think it could be very helpful.
Terry, you know, you and I are quite passionate about
Nottingham Forest, yes.
games in the car, that kind of
Oh yeah,
environment for learning.
yeah,
Making it a game in a way.
yeah.
In the past, would you say you had a gut feeling about maybe this would work in this situation, but you can't voice where you got your brain from? I have no idea. The solutions I've come up with that have happened to work, I've had the solution. I don't know how I got to it, but I have suggested it as, shall we try this as an example? And it's worked really well. But I haven't had the thought of it before. It's not something that I've done. Or to
Isn't that normal?
I cherish the thought of you saying that I'm normal. I cannot say how wonderful that is that you've just got normal.
Happy birthday!
Most people don't. But a bizarre solution. I did some work with somebody some months ago now, and the solution for her driving anxiety was having a bottle of smelly stuff in her handbag and in the driver's car door. But you know, I wouldn't have thought of that. Why would I come up with that? But it worked.
Well, when you say smelly stuff, what do you mean?
Is it legal?
Scented oils? No, definitely.
Oh, that kind of smelly stuff. Oh, okay.
Like
Okay.
perfume or scented oils or something.
Uh-huh. Okay.
And it wasn't something that I would have thought of in context with what she was coming to me with. But it was part of planning. But I think it's just bizarre when you start to trust it and you just talk to the person about an option and then really watch body language for their answers again. I think that's it.
Yes, it's an underused skill, I think.
Yeah. So practice it. How can you practice it? Notice,
Notice and listen to it.
listen to it, feel it, sense it, however you sense it. And I'm surprised you haven't said, you know, you can smell the fear.
I wouldn't be that crude, Fiona.
Liar.
Not on live TV anyway.
So it can be really useful just as a starting point of moving on from some form of status or some form of discomfort or some form of blockage. I just want to bring it up now.
Your blockage?
Well, like a furball. It's your cats, Andy. Now I'm thinking about cats. Their intuition.
Cats?
No, the driver.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
In what ways can they jump to conclusions or make mistakes or have feelings about us that they intuit that could be really not good?
I
He's
think
angry
you're
with.
naughty and
Sorry,
go on. You said go on.
he's angry with me because I stalled at the lights.
Mm.
How do you know? I just know. He looks angry. I just know.
Yeah. What about the examiner who chews gum? Just sounds like constant tutting.
Or the obvious one for me, apart from he hates me, they're really annoying me now. Yeah, is when they intuitively, easily said, intuitively give you an answer they think that you want to hear.
Oh, yes.
Hmm.
Like, do you understand me, Andy?
Huh? What do you mean?
That's all right. Just moving on to the quarter light. Moving back to the quarter light. Absolutely. Or like earlier, Terry, when you all came in and you did the biggest yawn, I thought I was falling in.
Don't remember that.
Biggest yawn. He's bored with me. I'm taking ages to do something or learn it. He's bored. The fidgety, the
And also, I think sometimes we forget that learners have intuition because they are human beings and they're like 17, 18, 19 years old. They've developed it over the years. And we forget that sometimes.
so yeah. Good.
We're less aware of what we're doing, sorry. Or we're not aware of how we come across because we don't really take their intuition as like something that is a tool for them.
Yeah. So we might be giving off some sort of body language or subtle something. The learner might be picking it up, and then we re-pick up something from them because it's a non-verbal bit of communication, isn't it?
Tell you what, good example. I was on the back of a PDI's lesson a couple of weeks ago, maybe. There's a business lesson, and the PDI asked the student, "Did you go driving this week? How was it?" Because the student goes driving with parents, and she said the learner said, "Oh, I went out with my dad today," and the PDI said, "Oh, how did it go?" And the PDI learner said, "Oh, he was really scared." And the PDI, "What do you mean, he's really scared?" And the learner said, "Because he was holding on to the handle up here, whatever that handle thing's called,
It's the Jesus handle.
the Jesus handle." And so the PDI said, "Well, how do you know that? How do you know he was scared?" Well, he was holding on to that. So that's a great example of our self-awareness. Just because he looked scared because he was holding on to this Jesus handle, other religions are available. That they assumed it was scared. He was scared,
Yeah,
and he's never asked him. He didn't say you scared, or he didn't say I'm scared. He just assumed because he was holding on to the handle.
yeah,
So learners have intuition. We mustn't forget that.
we do. Thanks, Terry. Andy?
But if someone's incorrect with their guesswork, is that intuition? In other words, so
Yes.
I don't know someone else's mind, so it'd be wrong of me to actually pretend I would ever be able to read it. Because I've got my brain, right? And it is mine and it makes mistakes all the time.
That,
And
yeah,
depending on how I feel about myself, really, is how I reflect on the world. And so if I'm insecure as a person, then I'm going to always be thinking that other person's thinking something terrible about me. If I'm not insecure as a person, I'm never going to be thinking those thoughts, or somewhere we're in between.
I think this is what we tried to say earlier, Andy, exactly what you're saying. So we're sort of coming round full circle. You can trust the intuition if it's about yourself and how you are and how you're responding, but it's an intuitive thought about someone else, that intuition, we can only say, is it? And this is where we can't trust it. We can trust there's a something, but we don't know what the something is or where it comes from. Because I've said that, are you all right? What's going on? And they've said, I really need the loo.
Yes.
You see what I mean? But it's that, or somebody's getting grumpy and they just want a cigarette. It's literally that. So all you can do is say, just ask a really gentle, open kind of something, and that's why it can be useful. Because if then because your relationship gets so much better when someone says, "I really fancy a cigarette, but it's 2 hour lesson, and do you want one? Is that all right?" Because it's that intuition. We don't want to stop because we're worried about them not getting their money's worth. They're worried about not getting their cigarette, and they know they'd be much better after the cigarette. And if we just intuited each other, do you want a cigarette? Yes, please. Couple of puffs. I'll put it out and we'll get in again. Okay, good. It's just about this noticing and being honest. It can really help so many things. It's such a valuable tool.
Yeah, blood.
So what to do with it? I wrote that down, but I think we've covered that. What to do with it? Be gentle. Like you said, Andy, we can only trust ourselves and what we know of ourselves. We're all contained within a human body. We've got eyes that look through holes to an outside world, but everything's sealed. Everything is sealed within us. That's why it's so hard. There's no kind of USB socket to click in.
And everything's got a piece as well. Just keeping the maritime theme going. Sails and pieces. No. No.
I didn't hear the seal reference, but
when you said everything's sealed, and I went because there's a pipe.
Oh, I see. I see.
You say my jokes are shit, shocking.
But your jokes are shocking.
Sorry. What can I say?
Ian's having a whale of a time.
Boom, yeah, keep it going.
It's the purpose of having a sensible conversation. This is audit.
I'll be cross next time. No, it's albatross, isn't it? Not albatross.
Albatross, yeah, nearly.
I
was going to say something and I've forgotten. Oh,
yay, it worked.
Little tip for everyone, for the person watching. The thing about intuition, little tests for you. Not a test, but a little exercise to show you that you know the answer. If you just listen to intuition. When you are making a decision about something, and the options are there's two options. And I'm talking about whether to have coffee or tea or have a Twix or a Mars bar, or cake or something else. I'm not saying should I leave my partner or not those kind of decisions. But small decisions when there's two options, or which way should I go to the pupil's house, because that way or that way. And you can't decide. Toss a coin. And while the coin is in the air, you will wish it to come down on one side more than the other. And that's your answer. You don't have to look at the coin. Flick it up. Ice cream. I want ice cream. Okay, all right. No, we weren't looking. It's ice cream. So, Andy, go.
Does it work with a card?
With a card?
Yeah. Card payment. But I don't have any coins these days. I don't.
You in the modern world. Find a coin from somewhere.
Thank you, Andy, for coming. Really appreciate it.
You could use a card, I guess. It's got two sides, doesn't it? Why not?
I've got to say, Andy, I've known Terry for how many years now, mate?
Far too many. 20, 15.
Well over 20, well over 11, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the first time I've seen him speechless.
I think
I had to pay the chimney sweep today in cash. That was a nightmare. I had to drive miles to find a cash machine. That cash for
is that not like two worlds? I had to pay the chimney sweep in cash. It's like it's unusual. They even shillings and galleons, or whatever they're called. Uh,
Back on the
galleons,
ports.
farthings, shillings and farthings. I meant to say.
Paying ships. How expensive are you?
Oh dear.
Right. I think we should think about wrapping this one up, unless anyone's got anything urgent. Intuition works both ways. It's communication. It's something you can't put your finger on. It's not real. Be gentle with it, but do just be conscious that you're giving out things that people will intuit. So if you're yawning or if you're using it this way or that way, please be conscious of how you're coming across to someone else. And if you notice something, sorry, 1 second, Andy. If you know something of yourself, if you know you've got a headache, it might be worth saying, if I seem quiet, I'm just not feeling so good. I'm fine for your lesson, but is that okay? Because then someone knows where they're at, where you're at. So do you see what I mean? I think it's just honesty as well. Andy?
I'd just say, in a nutshell, it's a lifesaver.
It is. It is. Yeah. How do we know that they haven't seen the thing?
Oh, do you want me to go into it?
No, because I don't know. It's just we just do. And you don't need any lessons in it, do you? Oh, I seem to know it quite early on. Right. The next one will be occurring. We know what it is.
We know what it is. It'll be in a couple of weeks.
It'll
Same
be
as usual.
weeks, yeah, same as usual. It will be 6:30. I'll put the adverts out. So watch Ian, watch Terry, watch me, watch it out there on Facebook, and it will be why don't you man the maneuver? So it's about a maneuver, and it's about our viewer bringing our attention to something. So we'll put it in the blurb about what the event's about, so that you guys will know in advance of what we're covering and how we're going to tackle it. Well, you'll know as much as we know because we don't really plan them that well. Seeing as we're off
Doesn't
duty.
show. Come on. Doesn't show. Doesn't show.
No. It doesn't. It's all good. It's all good. Now then, I invite you. So I know when the recording is going to end. A pose, please, gentlemen, ladies, and other. Thanks, Andy. just your questioning face was enough.